Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of StarCraft Inc. Today's match is a rematch. Oh, I'm joking. It's just Millennium Stephano. I thought there was... Oh, God. There were two replays I was looking at. One was a rematch between Stephano and OGS the STC, but I'm going to cast a different one just to throw it up for you guys, a Protoss match. We've got Obsidian here. Obsidian, I looked all over the place on Wikipedia and all sorts of public profiles for a bio on him, and I could not find one. So maybe he goes under a different alias normally. I've seen Obsidian before, though. I think I've even cast games by him. I don't know what to tell you about him. Definitely not a popular player, but I know that I've enjoyed watching him in the past. So here's a game from Obsidian for you guys. Over on the left side of the map, we do have Millennium Stephano. By the way, this is Shakuris Plateau. Everybody knows this map. It has been in all the tournament map pools for forever, and it is a pretty freaking wicked map. I really like it, especially in this matchup, because it does give the Zerg that long rush distance that they like to have, but at the same time it gives the Protoss that nice little natural, so it's a very good balanced map, I truly believe. Anyway, Millennium Stephano is a French Zerg player, and as you heard Sebastian say in our previous cast, he has a very unorthodox style, and that style has led to a lot of wins in the IGN Pro League. He's taken 2 first-place IGN Pro League wins in 2011 alone. So that just goes to show you that this guy is no ordinary Zerg, no one to mess with, really. And he's beaten players like who have taken down Idra. OGS the STC beat Idra twice in a row in one tournament. And I'm not just talking like 2 out of 3. I'm talking about he beat him in... OGS the STC beat Idra like twice in the same tournament in 2 separate best-of matches. And then ended up losing to Stephano. So Stephano's style is pretty damn solid, but he's having a really frustrating time trying to take this natural here. It's going down a lot later than he wanted it to. It doesn't really matter because he can drone while that's happening, and actually what he did do instead was drop that pool. He's going to go get this gas, and what Obsidian's really sticking around to find out is whether those harvesters come off the gas once he has 100 gas. Because that'll tell him what's coming next, and we'll talk about that more in a sec. Going over here to Obsidian, we are seeing a Forge Fast Expand, opening the production tab for you guys, by the way. And guys, let me know if you like that co-cast. Some people loved it, and some people were a little bit put off by it. But I mean, we'll try to do a little bit of both. Obviously, I'm doing this cast by myself, so that won't be gone and out the window. But I would like to do some more co-casts with Sebastian and Polygon Review. You guys tell me what you think of that. But we do have that speed on the way, and you can see that drones have been pulled off the gas, so that tells you that there won't be any really early layer tech. That tells you that there won't be roaches. So those are things you need to watch for when you're playing against a Zerg player, especially as Protoss, because you need to be very preemptive with your tech. Protoss tech is very slow to get out, and they have very I'm not sure how to word this, very crisp tech paths, meaning they don't merge together. They have very opposite directions. I mean, if you want to go to like the far end of a star tech, you know, like Stargates, and get that fleet beacon and all that jazz, it's very different than getting that the robotics bay for your robo facility. So I hope that makes sense, what I'm trying to say. You need to plan so far ahead with your builds and really know what you're going to go, because the tech switch is so hard as Protoss. Until that late game when you have a little bit of everything already in your base, then you can start tech switching like mad crazy, but you can't go from Colossus tech to High Templar tech really fast. Not like maybe a Terran tech tree where you need your factory to get your starport anyway, and it's just like, well, tanks or medevacs, you can do whatever you want, or like medevacs or Vikings, the switch between those two, even though I know they're both from the starport, but the reactor really plays into both of those things. That's not the case with Protoss. And it is kind of the case with Zerg, seeing as how every single unit comes out of that hatchery, right? So they can spit out 10 Zerglings or 10 Ultralisks. It doesn't really matter to them. So they just need to have that tech building. Anyway, back into this game. I'm kind of rambling there for a second. we do see a fast third for Stephano, and it's not incredibly fast. He does need that third in order to deal with Obsidian having a second. We're seeing weapons 1 on the way for him, and Obsidian getting extra gateways, so it will be some heavy gateway play. There's no real hidden tech here, no stargates, no robos, nothing fancy like that. And we do finally see that Roach Warren, and we're getting some evolution chambers too from the Zerg player here, and there's that stuff. Roach Warren and evolution chamber. I'm surprised not to see 2 evolution chambers. I mean, they're dirt cheap, 75 minerals a piece, to get those double upgrades going. But maybe he's not planning to invest too heavily into roaches. We'll see. That Zerg meeting an awful end, and his entrails are all over the floor. I'd hate to be the janitor that has to clean that shit up, because that stuff doesn't come off the mop easy. That's just like, you have to carry that home in a bag. And I don't know if the garbage man would take that shit. They don't even take the garbage that comes out of the holes in the bag when the squirrels eat that shit. I'm having way too fun with myself here, and not in a masturbating kind of way. But anyway, so he's killing his own pylon, which I don't even think that's gonna let him out. We'll see. I think there's still a wall here because of the gateway, but I could be wrong. We'll see. Oh no, his units can get through. Lucky bastard. But good luck getting an immortal through that space. Anyway, there are some links here that are going to see this push out. And if Stephano was really watching, he'll know that there's a probe in there. And what that means is this attack is not just going to be a poke and prod. It means he plans on dropping a pylon. And, you know, if that's the case, where'd that probe go? Oh, there's the pylon. And the Ling scouts that. So he's going to come back. He's got to clear that Ling. Man, this push is taking way too long. He really needs to just cross the map real quick, and these Lings really want to cause some problems. They really want to lock this push down, and I think it's wise of Obsidian to pull back right now, because that push took way too long, and he's kind of lucky that he didn't get across the map, because these roaches would have squashed him out in the midfield. And yeah, now that he's back at home, though, he's got more than enough to really take this down at the door. A couple force fields are going to not only split this up, but keep half of it on the ramp so he can kill a small portion of it. The problem here, though, is Stephano is now freely taking his 4th, and Obsidian is stuck on 2 bases, and he can't really leave to expand because he needs to stay turtled or that push will roll him, although he's slowly gaining enough to take it out. I think he could push out at this point. He's getting a blink for his stalkers. I think as soon as blink is finished, he will push out. That would be the opportune time. There is creep over here, which is really frustrating. Sorry, a little bit of burping going on because of the Coke I'm drinking. Oh my god, Coke can be... I'm putting Coke on the table on my wedding day. Fuck champagne. Coke is classier to me. Anyway, so 4 bases still, nothing special. Stephano not really getting too high aggressive with those expansions. But once that 4th is finished, Obsidian really will start to feel the Zerg macro, and he needs to do some damage with this push. Not necessarily to bases, but he needs to force some larvae here. If too many larvae become drones, it will be a bad situation for Obsidian. He is taking this base, and a lot of Protoss choose to take that 3rd in that location right here instead of the north location. Oh my god, what an engagement here. Those roaches got 2 on top of the stalkers, I feel, but Blink allowed them to get back into a better position. Those force fields are pretty good, but there's not enough zealots left in this mix to fight the stalkers and the roaches. A couple more units being warped in here at the 3rd base, and Blink is the only thing keeping Obsidian alive in this engagement. And the weapons upgrades are pretty handy too. We're seeing weapons 1 from Stephano, but it just doesn't keep up with the Blink and weapons 2. Not even close. So we do see Obsidian take that engagement, and it will force more larvae from Stephano. As you're seeing, he's popping out tons of roaches to try and hold on. Otherwise, Obsidian will be able to push into his hatcheries. 2 gateways go down there. It would have been good to see the roaches focus fire those to one-shot them and force... He wouldn't even have time to cancel them. That single shot from all the roaches would kill the gateway at such low health and cost his opponent 150 minerals. So 1 zealot here to block the entrance. a cannon there to do some damage, and we will see an engagement here as well. The roaches trying to get right on top of the stalkers. A good force field from Obsidian. There are no harvesters here at this expansion, and the roaches are actually going to trade their lives to kill this expansion, and it's so frustrating when Zerg do that, because there's nothing you can do. You can't kill the roaches fast enough, and I don't know if that trade is going to be a good one for Stephano, though, because now he's going to not only have to spit out roaches again. There were 23 roaches on the production tab right there, ladies and gentlemen. 23. And I feel like Obsidian lost this game already when he couldn't get out of his base and Stephano was taking his fourth. And we are going to see more upgrades, pathogen glands for infestors, and Zerg missile attacks too, keeping Stephano in this game in the upgrade race. This base is going back down for Obsidian, and really what he needs to do is surpass Stephano in tech. And if he can do that, he hasn't lost this game, but until then, he's being outproduced drastically. And he can't leave with only one Colossus. It will get run over. One Stalker on the Watchtower. I like that positioning. I don't believe Thermal Lance is done. No, it is not. Thermal Lance is only halfway done, and we are seeing Corruptors come out. That's all Stephano needed to see. He poked, he saw the Colossus, and that was more than enough information. So now Colossus tech is kind of useless. To say that, though, I don't know if Obsidian will continue to produce Colossus. He may just stay on 2. As you can see, there are no more in the production tab. We do finally have this expansion finished, and a transfer here from the second will be more than enough to saturate this. And like I said, what I was starting to say is a lot of Protoss favor this expansion over this expansion, and that's because it's easier to defend against Muta. And when you have Blink Stalker mobility, it's just a good place to have your expansion for protection purposes. And that is so many roaches. I don't feel that there's enough force fields here, and force fields are what you need to fight a roach army like this. Otherwise, they will just straight up win in the fight. And that is what we are seeing. Without the Colossus, he can't win a fight like this. And the Corruptors did make short work of those Colossus, and now Obsidian is really feeling the macro from Stephano. Like I said, he needed to do some damage earlier, and the high ground is a good spot for his Stalkers, but those Corruptors do give vision, and he does get a nice little pinch back on the home turf. Stalkers in great numbers, but an Infestor comes to stop Blink from being a problem. And these Stalkers, I don't know what Stephano was doing, or not Stephano, Obsidian. He's left so many Stalkers there on that high ground, I think he forgot he had them. And that is really going to cost him, because he could have won that engagement very straight up. And now it's starting to cost him mining time, and he can't have that. One Colossus does come out for him, a second on the way, and kind of just in time too. I'm not sure where his observer went. He did have an observer. I think it's over here. There's the observer. I hope he remembers he has that. He's going to need it now that Burrow is completed for those roaches. And hopefully he gets a second Colossus in the mix. There are no Corruptors on the field anymore as far as I know. Not that I can see. And there are none in production either. I think that Stephano is assuming he will not produce any more Colossus, but that is not the case. There was one more on the way. I'm not sure where it is. It's clearly finished because it's no longer in the production tab. Armor upgrades are on the way for the Protoss player. He is now 3-0 for his upgrades, and armor will benefit him greatly. On the Zerg side of things, we're seeing lots of spines, lots of spores, more infestors. We're seeing air upgrades out the ass, and no air actually in production though. Maybe planning for late game broodlords, not sure, but we are seeing another hatchery. This will be a macro hatch, in fact, and all these spines are being placed within the mineral line to prevent against late game harass, such as DTs. Spore crawlers were for that detection, and now their spines are for low maintenance. When you're floating on a big bank and you have, a big maxed army, why not start to drop those spines and spores? There's no reason not to. They're cheap and you can afford them for sure. And oh my god, I'm gonna yawn. But that's nothing new to StarCraft Inc. viewers, is it? I don't think so. But Stephano is sitting in the middle of the map here, just waiting with his lings and infestors, and nothing that Obsidian can really do to push into that while the spines are there. His Stalkers will get shredded against spines. Needs to wait to be maxed before you push into something like that. And he's almost there, both players even on the supply count. However, we will see Stephano sitting on a larger bank, so he needs to, Obsidian will need to push the second he's maxed. Otherwise, it will allow Stephano to sit on too much of a bank, and that's never a good thing. Stephano using a lot of minerals on spine crawlers, which is good because not only is he clearing supply, but he's creating military units on top of his supply. So he's losing drones to make these spine crawlers, allowing him to build more military units, and then plus he's got the added firepower of the spines. Look at this spine wall. It's unreal. And that's just so much extra firepower for the Zerg player. And I mean, I'd like to see the Protoss player emulate that with some cannons, but he really doesn't have the money. And I don't know what to say about this, guys. Broodlords are on the field now, and I don't feel like Obsidian has anything to deal with it. He's got a lot of High Templar, but they don't have Storm yet, and I'm not sure what the plan is for this. The Spine Crawler does not go all the way to this expansion, and so he will attack it and pull the entire army over there. The Observer following it, I'm not sure if Stephano will see that Observer. It's funny that he just hasn't fungled his army to check. Broodlords are kind of pulling ahead to get ready for that ranged siege attack. As Obsidian is going back for this expansion, Ling's coming in. He will be able to pick off a bunch of Lings. Feedback going down on some infestors thanks to the Observer over the army. And now those Broodlords are in range. This is tipping Obsidian off that there are in fact Broodlords on the field. We do see the Protoss player sitting on a larger bank than Stephano, which is quite the change of pace. I didn't think that would happen. We are seeing Obsidian sitting at a higher supply as well. Lots of High Templar. Feedback on the infestors again. Good micro by Obsidian. And, you know, come to think of it, I think I remember hearing that Obsidian was a Warcraft 3 player, just to give you guys a little bit on him, but I don't even know if that's true, so don't take my word for it, but that's ringing a bell. And, yeah, I'd love to see, if you guys can find a profile on him, please send it my way. Link it in a private message, because you can't put links in the comments section. But do what you can, guys. Help me out here. Broodlord's getting a little bit ahead of themselves. He's lucky that those Stalkers couldn't find a way to get under them. And the Roach is coming in behind to try and round things up. But the Protoss army wisely backs up. And he is continuing this teeter-totter thing, this whole I'm gonna come over here, then no over here, then no over here. And what he needs is a mothership, to be honest. Yeah, the recall on the mothership would be incredibly useful for him right now. You know what they're thinking of doing in Heart of the Swarm is, you know, getting rid of the mothership and putting mass recall on the Nexus. And I don't know how you guys feel about that, but that weirds me out. And a couple zealots running forward for Obsidian to, for what reason, I don't know. I don't understand the purpose of that. He is gonna, he's gonna put them down here. He's gonna go for this mineral line with his zealots and attack this section with his army. Those feedbacks have been so vital, stopping the infestors from fungal growthing his army and locking them down for the Broodlords to kill. And the fungal growth did manage to kill a whole, oh my god, look how many broodlings came out there. Oh my god. And that was not good for Obsidian, and it was very good for Stephano. However, Stephano, he's kind of dwindling down on the army side of things, and he's spending all his money. He's building so many Broodlords. Let me get rid of this for you guys for a second. We are going to see all that stuff go down for Obsidian. Got caught in a fungal growth and just left to die in the Broodlings, and Obsidian's really starting to feel it on his supply count. However, he is once again sitting on a big bank. He's getting that star tech. There's going to be a lot of Void Rays on the field for Obsidian. And I'm looking for all those Void Rays. I know they're out here somewhere. 3 of them on the way. Maybe those are the first wave. He's got a Warp Prism. I'm sorry if I missed a drop, because it looks like I may have. Although I don't see any damage on any hatcheries or anything. But we do see Obsidian taking this base now, and the one thing I have to say about Obsidian getting these bases late is that he won't be mined out at the same time that his opponent will be. Stephano will definitely be mined out before Obsidian. I want to take a look at the units lost tab. Oh, that's a units tab. Ha! Units lost. That's L. I'm going to try to learn my hotkeys, because apparently it's pissing a lot of people off. I don't know replay hotkeys yet, which is silly because I've been commentating for like a year now. But we do have Stephano losing the unit's loss tab. And going back to the production tab, we do have DTs on the way, as well as that fleet beacon. And the broodlings, man, it's just making it so difficult for Obsidian to get close. So difficult, and he's almost losing his Templar to broodlings, which is not what you want. Of course it's what you want. I don't know what I'm saying. God, salesman can sell me that any day. Kill your Templar for free. Buy a broodling. Ah, God. You know, I'm going to be one of those 50-year-old men who drives a Coke truck. Not the kind that rapes children, but the kind that just really likes driving his Coke truck because it's just like a piece of his soul. We do have a mothership on the way, and I'm so excited for that. Oh, yes, please. And here, I'll get rid of those health bars for you. So you can see this engagement. Will he kill the Broodlord? I don't think so. There's so many goddamn Broodlords. God! Ah! And the infestors can't really get close. Storm going down onto the Broodlords, but fungal growth going down on the Void Rays. I really like how he pulled his Void Rays forward in 2 separate groups, allowing him to only absorb fungal growth with the first wave, and then feedback on the second wave of infestors, and the Void Rays are now letting him get close to those Broodlords. He can't Stephano cannot spit out Corruptors fast enough. 22 Corruptors on the way to deal with these Void Rays. Stephano, what are you doing? Look at what he's doing. He's over here fighting the hatchery when he should be dealing with the Corruptors, the Broodlords, I mean. Oh my God, he should have killed the Broodlords. What was he doing? And now he's gonna lose everything to the Corruptors that came out. What the fuck is he doing? Oh, oh God, there's no way he can take the Corruptors now. There's no way he can take... Oh my God. He needed to kill those Broodlords while they were naked. I mean, oh, even if... Oh no! Why did he do that? Oh my God. And now that these Corruptors are on the field, there's no way that Obsidian can take out those Broodlords. Oh my God. I hope you guys saw the error of Obsidian's ways. He had this game in the bag. He needed to go for those Broodlords while those Corruptors were being built. Instead, he went for a hatchery and lost his window. I don't even think this mothership can save him. It's going to go down so fast to those Corruptors. He doesn't even have enough energy for a vortex, and the mothership goes down almost instantly to the mass Corruptors. And Obsidian just has to tap out here. He has to GG. There's no other option for him. And come on, man. Come on, just give it up. You made your mistake. Oh, you had this game in the bag, Obsidian. And it looks like Stephano will take this game. Oh my God. Come on, get onto those Broodlords. Oh, no. There's just too much shit there for you, bud. Sorry. Well, that's silly. DT is actually killing a lot of stuff on the ground. Lots of infestors going down to DTs. But the Corruptors are the biggest issue here. And he can't even touch anything in the air. Everything he spits out dies instantly. And there's not enough... you can't produce enough Stalkers to